Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is November 9th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see the sun rising across the Pacific Ocean, frontal system making its way towards the coastline here. It's weakening as it does so, but it will bring some light precipitation across Northern California. If we zoom in here, you can see the new snow across the Sierra Nevada here on the GOES 18 satellite. There's Lake Tulare, and no marine there to speak of across southern and central California. You can see the high and mid-level clouds starting to go across the Bay Area here, but some nice glorious sunshine out there. And as always, we'll dive into the extended forecast here as we go through the video today. I know everybody wants to know what that storm is forecast to do, and we'll be looking at that in some detail as we go through the video. Check this out. We went over 6,000 subscribers last night. And again, much appreciation to all of my subscribers and all my new members here for the channel. It's doing quite well here. And yeah, I look forward to the future with this channel and with you guys leaving the positive comments below. Taking a look at this day in SoCal weather history. Check out November 9th, 1982. Look at this. 7 tornadoes. 2 F2 tornadoes in a 6-hour period, including a 10-mile track across Long Beach here. So interesting stuff can happen this time of year, and tornadoes are not that uncommon here across portions of Southern California in the fall and winter months. And here we go with a National Weather Service Sacramento stormy weather pattern next week. You can see the trough carving out here, and there's still big questions though on just how much the storm's going to hang out over the ocean or move over California, and we'll look at those details as we go through the video here today. Here's looking ahead to next week, Los Angeles. You can see 1 to 2 storms possible, and you can see the chances of rain here. But I got to caution you guys, this is no slam dunk right now. The models are still waffling back and forth here, and I'll show you what I mean in a moment. This was issued yesterday afternoon. And in the meantime, we do have these gusty winds and low relative humidities. You have red flag warnings out there, and this goes on in through today about 6 p.m. So watch out for those gusty winds. They can quickly spread fires across the area. And of course, here it shows it, and you can see some gusts up to 50 miles per hour. So heads up for that. This is the current hazards. You see the wind advisories for the strong winds and the red flag warnings there as we go through this morning. Now, lowest humidity today. This is San Diego National Weather Service, and you can see it is going to be dry out there. So just have that in the back of your mind. Let's not try to start any new fires here before we can get some precipitation back into the region. And this is Las Vegas. You can see Interstate 15 included in that. Some north wind gusts to 50 miles per hour. Watch out for those strong crosswinds, especially if you're driving a big rig out there. And if you want a nice affordable home weather station, click on that link down below to save 10%. It's always more fun to watch the weather roll in when you've got a weather station at your place of residence. Taking a look at the North American model, high resolution, Southern California, Los Angeles, Metro, San Diego would be here. There's Las Vegas and the Arizona border. As we go through the day today, you can still see we have these offshore winds rolling across the area, strong north winds across the desert. Should be relaxing a bit as we go through into Friday morning, even turns onshore for a little bit, and then we kick things back offshore as we go into Friday night, into Saturday morning. So relative humidities will stay low across the area. Just keep that in the back of your mind so we don't start any more fires across the area. You don't need 50-mile-per-hour gusts to get rapid fire spread here. 20 miles per hour will do it quite nicely. Now, I wanted to address that weak system here off to the northwest that we saw quickly before we get into the fun stuff. This is the NAM 3KM, again, the North American model, kind of showing that frontal system falling apart, just some light precipitation associated with that. And then we wait for a few days until the trough digs down off the coastline here. And we're going to dive into those details now. We got the European on the left versus the GFS on the right. And I'm showing the ensemble means first for a reason, but let's go ahead and take a look at things. 18,000 feet, 500 millibars, looking in the upper levels of the atmosphere, checking out the general ridge and trough position, and you can see very good model agreement in the trough forming itself. But look at the position of the troughing here. The European is closer to the coastline versus the GFS, a little bit further away, and that could mean big differences for what kind of weather we get here in the state of California. I'll show you what that means here in a moment. Now, we're going to compare the European, the 12Z run. This is hot off the presses versus a GFS 12Z run. Here goes our trough digging down. We're looking at Sunday night right now. You can see the precipitation impacting the coast of Oregon on the European. GFS holding that system back off to the west a little bit more. Put it into motion, and you can clearly see the European just doesn't waste any time bringing precipitation into Northern California and eventually down through the Bay Area as we go on into Tuesday morning. But look at the GFS, just hangs the low offshore here, not bringing much precipitation into the state of California. So big model disagreement that would make huge differences across the state of California as the European just pounds California with this storm, and the GFS holds it off the coastline there. So That means we got to look at the ensemble members a little bit more closely. As we look at the GFS ensemble mean from this morning, you can clearly see it still shows the big precipitation values all across the state of California. So that deterministic run is somewhat of an outlier here, and the ensembles still have agreement that the storm is incoming for California. European, this is yesterday afternoon also, and it shows big precipitation values potential down all the way through Southern California, higher terrain even for Los Angeles, even down towards San Diego here as well. So storm still looks like it's incoming here, but you got to watch that closely. It's by no means a slam dunk here. If the GFS is right and the storm holds back off to the west a little bit, it's going to drastically reduce the impacts of that storm system across California. Now, looking at the GFS this morning, ensemble mean as far as total snow still shows big snowfall incoming as we go through the mid and later portion of the week coming up here across the Sierra Nevada and some of the higher terrain in Northern California there as well. And if we look closer here at Los Angeles International Airport and the European yesterday afternoon, you can kind of see the wide variation here. And these are 24-hour precipitation totals. The control run had about 1.5 inches in a 24-hour period, kind of a 1-2 shot of some nice precipitation rolling in here, but some of the ensembles are actually less. But pretty good ensemble agreement that a fairly rainy period is upcoming here for some of Southern California. GFS is something similar here as well. The control run as of last night's 06Z run had 1.5 inches here, so pretty rainy period there. The 12Z was much different. And you can kind of see the model, the ensembles disagreeing with themselves within the GFS also. This is Lake Tahoe. You can see the wild swings in the amount of snowfall in some of these runs versus others. Some of them not showing much at all, but some showing some big totals in there. So we'll try to get a clear picture here as we go through the next few days as well. We still have some time before this system gets here. This is Mammoth. Check it out. Some big totals showing up in there, but also some runs with much less. So again, wide variability here showing up in the ensembles. Looking at daily 2-meter max temperature here, we do warm up a bit here as we go through the weekend. Look at Sunday, some 80s returning to some of the desert areas, maybe in Southern California, some mid and upper 70s for the valley areas here as well. But then as the storm system rolls in here, of course, it would be cooling down much of the state and much of the Southwest as well. So, yep, that would be that storm arriving there, knocking those temperatures back down. Here we go, 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook all the way through November 18th. You can clearly see there is a bullseye across much of the Southwest here, well above normal chances for above average precipitation, and 8 to 14 day temperature probability outlook. This goes through November 22nd there as well. And here we go with the experimental products, kind of showing the risk of moderate precipitation across some of the higher terrain of the Sierra Nevada and the coastal range all the way down through Southern California. And this is somewhere around November 16th and 17th. Also shows that risk for heavy snow, even got a moderate there across some of the Sierra Nevada there as well. And risk of high winds also does include California, Nevada, Arizona, and Utah here also. So yeah, lots to watch here over the next few days, but pretty good model agreement that some type of a storm is going to set up off the coastline here. How much of that will impact the state of California? We still have some pretty good model disagreement on those impacts. So definitely need to be checking back each day here to try to, if you have some interest here across the state of California, is definitely keep yourself up to date on these forecasts, rapidly evolving situation here as we go through next week. But anyway, I hope you guys are liking these videos. We're up over 6,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys a lot. You guys make this channel possible. You guys, without it, there's nothing to even talk about here. The comments are very positive, and a lot of intelligent people obviously watching this channel. You're so glad to see it. Hope it continues on into the future here. And I'm interested to see what the models bring today as far as the storm is concerned. We'll watch this closely, and we'll do this again tomorrow morning. We'll break everything down just the same way again and try to get a little bit clearer picture. But anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.